Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.
Shalom, 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 Yasharal and Yahuda, grafted in Gentiles into the body of Hamashiach. We're listening to none other than Hezekiah. Song is entitled Freedom Wins 1.5. I don't own the rights to this music. Listen, you better be prepared for this coming, this coming doom. You better be prepared to escape the wrath to come. For Yahuwah has not appointed us to this wrath. But listen, if you ain't hid in this witness, if you have not received the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood, if you have not been born again, listen, if you have not been sealed, listen, you are going to be caught in this destruction. Yahuwah's wrath is going to be poured out, and only those who have his seal, only those who have received the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, only those that have been born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, only those who have received the name of Yahuwah, Yah salvation. Listen, only us who've received his witness is going to escape. Listen, Hezekiah says, as I look at the world, he sees these prophecies unfolded. We, Yasharal, made a deal. Our forefathers made a deal with Yahuwah to serve him. And in so doing, we would be protected from wrath. We would escape the judgment to come. Yahuwah, I pray right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach that you would take the reins of my lips and the reins of my tongue and rein. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I know that you have those that you have chosen from amongst the other nations who've received the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. And those among the nation of Yasharal and Yahuwah who will come into agreement with the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, that high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, who became the Lamb of Yahuwah that would take away the sins of the world. Yahuwah, I pray for the nation, those that you have chose. I pray that the word that comes forth would minister to them, that it would minister life and peace and medicine. Yahuwah, allow nothing that I say to cause anyone to stumble. Allow nothing that I say to cause anyone to go astray, or cause anyone to be lame and taken out of the way. Yahuwah, I pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that this witness, Yahuwah, this witness, Yahuwah, I pray that this witness, Yahuwah, will bring life and peace. This witness will bring medicine. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, Babylon's fallen. Babylon's fallen. Yahuwah is unleashing his wrath. These nations know. These leaders in these nations, they know. They want to distract you with global warming, right? They want to distract you with Putin in Ukraine. For a whole year and a half, 2 years, they distracted you with COVID. Yahuwah is judging the arrests. And only those that are sealed are going to be able to come through. Judgment. Destruction. He's taking away peace from the earth. The Ancient of Days. The orchestrator of the reboot. The orchestrator of the reset. Hallelujah. Listen. I am so grateful to Yahuwah. I am so grateful because I understand what I'm in. Yahuwah told me to cry loud and to spare not, to lift up my voice like a trump in Zion. He said, warn my people that they must receive the witness, that they must receive the water, the blood, the Ruach HaKodesh. They must be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Warn them. Right? Warn them. And have them to understand that the Ruach HaKodesh comes with signs. Signs following. Right? So that they won't just be tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. They can prove and test because of the evidence of the Ruach HaKodesh in those that they listen to. There's a reason why you need the Ruach HaKodesh. First and foremost is that it's Yahuwah Yahushua on the inside of you. It's what keeps you his, right? It's the only thing that makes you his. Listen, you can receive the ruach, you can receive the water and the blood, but you still need to have imunah and receive the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh is the operative power of Yahuwah. It's the sevenfold spirits. It's the Ruach of wisdom and understanding. It's the Ruach of Yahuwah, the Ruach of counsel of might, Ruach of knowledge and the fear of Yahuwah. Listen, you have to operate in the Ruach HaKodesh. If you don't, you are none of his. We know that we are the sons of Yahuwah because we received his spirit. We know we're the sons of Yahuwah because we've received his spirit. Beloved, now we're the sons because we've received his Ruach HaKodesh. Right? And the only way to the Ruach is through receiving the water and the blood. The Ruach HaKodesh is given to you to witness and to testify of Yahuwah and Yahusha. The Ruach HaKodesh is given to you so that you will understand and be able to hear what Yahuwah is saying. Right? Discernment. Without the Ruach HaKodesh, man, there's no discernment. The Ruach of truth has to discern truth. Right? The Ruach HaKodesh of truth has to discern truth. See, when you have the Ruach HaKodesh, right, the spirit of Yahuwah's Ruach, right, you will be able to discern truth from a lie. Because the Ruach HaKodesh in you is going to bear witness or not witness with whoever you're listening to, right? Whoever you spend time listening to, right? The Ruach HaKodesh is quintessential, right? There's no functioning in this truth without the Ruach HaKodesh of truth. You gotta have the Ruach HaKodesh of truth. you have to receive Yahuwah's Ruach. Right? And you said signs follow them to believe. Right? And the Ruach operates in order. It doesn't operate out of order. Right? Yahuwah. So much disorder amongst the nation. So much disorder. You know, that's why there's only going to be a remnant. Right? So many teachers. Right? So many so-called mores. That's why there's only going to be a remnant. Right? Because only a remnant is going to be able to hear the word of truth and rightly divide the word of truth. So many voices. So many people having a word. And listen, you know, Yahuwah told me to cry loud in despair and not lift up my voice like a trumpet in Zion, right? He told me to warn you that you must receive the witnesses, the Ruach HaKodesh. That's what he called me to do. That's what I do, right? That's the lane that I stay in. Everything that he gives to me is designed to point you to the witness, right? To get you to understand that the only way you're validated in his eyes is that if you receive the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood, right? He don't care about you if you don't. If you don't receive his witness, you deny the truth. You deny the witness. You deny his name. So he said, well, no, I don't deny his name. I just don't receive Jesus. Okay. I don't deny the name of Yahuwah. I just don't receive this New Testament. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Right. You die and go to hell. Right. It's okay. Because Yahuwah, he ain't gonna care. Right? Because you refuse to receive the truth. Right? Right? You refuse to see the truth. You refuse to receive the message of the witness in Emunah. Just like your forefathers did. Just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees did. Refused to receive the witness. Yeah, they wanted to kill him. Because he was going to disrupt their agenda. Who is judging the earth? And the only ones that are going to be protected, right, in the nation are those who have received the witness. If you're in the Americas and Yahuwah begins to unleash his judgment, right, because, you know, the judgment is going to come. And those who endure, or those who make it through, right, Yahuwah's going to gather. Those who make it through the tribulation, Yahuwah's going to gather. Those who have received the witness, the Besor and the Torah of truth. Yahuwah is unleashing his wrath on these people, on these nations. And it's really no place you can go. Right? Granted, you know, I want to go to the continent because, you know, at the end of the day, I'd rather be on the continent. Right? Right? But if I don't get there, right, along with the millions of other Hebrews that may not be able to get there, right? You can't get there. Right? You better have the witness of Yahuwah, Ruach HaKodesh, because it's going to get ugly. Got to go through my tribulation. You know, the Christian them got you believing that, you know, you're going to be raptured before the tribulation. Right? Now you sitting around waiting for a rapture. And Yahuwah is moving us into tribulation as we speak. Right? But there's no rapture. Right? That's a doctrine. Throughout the scriptures, you got to endure tribulation. Only those who receive the witness of Yahushua Mashiach and have been born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, right, will have everything they need to make it through the tribulation. Have everything you need to make it through tribulation. Tribulation is going to touch the world. Tribulation is going to touch the world. You know, there are those that are on the continent that sold us into slavery. Right? Sold us into slavery. Hebrews. Right? Right? Sold us into slavery. Right? The homie. What's the homies? The homie tribe? Sold us into slavery. Right? We judged. The world is going to experience judgment, tribulation. There is no place that you can hide or escape. And if you're not in the witness, guess what? It's going to hit you. Babylon's falling, right? Right? We know Babylon is America, right? She's falling, right? It's just a matter of time before her currency dips in nothing. It's a matter of time before, you know, one of her enemies come over and TKOs her. It's in the book. Judgment, man. But you know what? We aren't those that are without hope. Right? We don't function as if we don't have any hope. Right? We know that we have a Redeemer that's going to gather us. Right? He's going to gather us. Well, whether he chooses to gather us before or after this great tribulation, right? He's still going to gather us. He still knows those who are his. He knows how to protect his own. He knows how to protect those who have his seal from the judgment that's to come. Right? Why would you think he told the angel, right, hold up until we seal them, until they have received the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Until we can identify them, right? We know who they are, right? Why would he tell them to seal them before the tribulation? Because they was going to go through the tribulation. You wouldn't need to seal somebody before something if you had there was no inkling of them ever having to go through a thing. Right? You got to have a band in order to get into a concert after you paid for it. It's your seal. It got you in, right? To the concert, right? It got you in, right? Your seal is going to get you in, right? But you could prepay. You could prepay before the tribulation, before the concert to get you in. Right? You got to understand, right? The seal is necessary. You haven't heard me preach anything other than having the necessity of having to receive the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood, the witness, the seal. See, if you don't have the seal, you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh, you ain't going to endure. You ain't going to make it. Stuff start to get crazy. You ain't going to make it. Some of y'all have problems now. Problems now. Right. You have problems now. And Yahuwah is telling you, you need to be established in the witness. Fighting stuff that, worried about stuff that, Yahuwah has told me to cry loud, spare not. To lift up my voice like a trumpet Zion. I'm going to do what he told me to do. Until I can't do it no more. And then I'm going to continue to fast and pray in the Ruach and with my understanding. And if he says close the door, and don't open it, I'm closing the door and waiting for the indignation to pass. Because see, I have the seal. I have the blood. I have the Ruach HaKodesh. I have the water. I've been sealed. That's as good as the blood on my doorpost. Which was a type of this salvation and deliverance. We going in. We left off in Ezra, right? And Ezra had a vision. After having been told by the angel to wait 7 days and eat of the fruit and of the herbs and not the fruit, but the flowers and the herbs of the fields, and he did. Right? And at that 8th day, Ezra, like he always does, becomes vexed. Right? Overwhelmed. He's done this 3 times. After Yahuwah has brought forth a word to him and assured him, answered his questions in reference to the things that Yahuwah felt like he needed to know. Right? And Yahuwah valued Ezra. Said it came, he met Ezra, and met with the nation, right? When they served him and did what was right, right? Right? He comes to them. Right? Ezra, Ezra's man of Yahuwah prophesied to the nation, told him, you need to repent. Because he's done with you, Jacob and Yehuda, right now. Right? It's going to the other nations. It's prophetic. It's prophetic. It's going to the name. He'll give him his name. Yah, salvation. Prophetic. But see, you got to Ruach HaKodesh to be able to discern this. Because you're going to think that he's giving them Yah. Right? Because you ain't got the Ruach HaKodesh, Ruach HaKodesh is going to reveal to you Yahusha and Yah. Yah's salvation is Yah's name. Yah can't be separated from Yahusha no more than Yahusha can be separated from Yah. It is Yah's salvation. It's going to give it to the Gentile. Ezra went and preached it. They didn't listen to him. They didn't hear him. and they despised he who was coming. So you know what? Off you go. Captivity. Under Babylon. You wicked Chaldeans. Subject to their laws, subject to their orders, subject to their slavery, subject to whatever it is they want from you. Right. And Yahuwah sends Ezra along there with them. 30 years later, Ezra's on his bed, reflecting, and it all begins. Yahuwah gives him the workings of the second Ezra, or fourth Ezra, depending on how you want to read it or where you get it from. Right? So Ezra, having eaten flowers and herbs, feeling overwhelmed, vexed, right? Heavy. Right? All of a sudden, Ezra starts to ask you who questions going in. And then all of a sudden, to the right of Ezra, he sees this woman in the field. And this woman is mourning with great lamentation, just dust and ripped garments on her head, just mourning. Ezra forgot what he was doing, and he brought his attention to her. This woman was so overwhelmed at Ezra, there was not anything Ezra could say to this woman to bring her comfort, right? Just nothing that Ezra could say to this woman that would cause her to not be vexed. Right? Who was showing Ezra. The nation. Nothing that Ezra could do to cause this woman to be vexed. He tried to comfort her. She went on to explain to him because he wanted to know, why are you so vexed? She was saying, for 30 years. I was barren. 30 years, I was barren. Could not produce children, right? Her husband and her to wait on a woman of the nation at that time not to be able to produce seed. But she couldn't. And then she entreated the Most High. And Yahuwah gave her a son. Right? He gave her a son. Right? And his son grew up. No. Matter of fact, let's get the story so that I can accurately make sure that I'm covering it. Verse 10. Actually, he says, start at verse 38 of that 9th chapter. And when I spoke these things in my heart, I looked back with my eyes And upon the right side I saw a woman, and behold, she mourned and wept with a loud voice, and with much grief in her heart, and her clothes were rent, and she had ashes upon her head. Then let I my thoughts go that I was in, and turned me unto her, and said unto her, wherefore do you weep? Why are you so grieved in your mind? Angel said that, Uriel said that to Ezra. Why are you so overwhelmed, Ezra? Why are you so vexed, Ezra? He says, and she said unto me, sir, leave me alone. Leave me alone, that I may bewail myself and add unto my sorrows, for I am sore vexed. Ezra was vexed over the nation. Sore vexed. She said, I am sore vexed in my mind and brought very low. Ezra was vexed in his mind, praying on 2 occasions and fasting 7 days. On the 8th day, he became vexed and overwhelmed and began to pray and question Yahuwah. And of course, Yahuwah would send Uriel, and Uriel would come with an answer. He said, she said unto me, and I said unto her, what ails you? Tell me. What's your problem? Now what you're going to see is as we catch into where we are, it's the same thing the angel said to Ezra. Right, okay, so there you go. Right? She said unto me, I, your servant, have been barren and have no children, and had a man 30 years. So it's 30 years. Right? And those 30 years I did nothing else day and night, and every hour make my prayer unto El Elyon. Barren. Could not produce fruit. Yasharal barren. Because of her wickedness. Because of her sins. She couldn't produce nothing. Right? He says, in those 30 years I did nothing all else day and night, and every hour but make my prayer unto El Elyon. After 30 years El Elyon heard me. Yahuwah told Ezra to go speak to the people. The people didn't want to receive the witness. They had no intentions of producing fruit. They were despising his commandments. Right? He says, and 30 years later, she says, 30 years later, Elohim heard me, and your handmaiden looked upon my miseries and considered my troubles and gave me a son. And I was very glad of him and was my man also. Right? So I was glad because I received a son. Now listen. The paradigm is this is Ezra and Israel. Right? Ezra and Israel. Yahuwah is showing Ezra, right, him in Israel. Ezra is doing the same thing this woman did, right? Now, Ezra, it says here, right? And considered my trouble and gave me a son, and I was very glad of him. So was my man also, right? And all my neighbors, and we gave great honor to El Shaddai, right? So this is also um, um, how Yisrael had developed to a place of worshiping Yahuwah, right, and serving Yahuwah, right. Under Shlomo, dedicated the temple, right, dedicated the temple, right. Some 30 years after Shlomo took the leadership of the priesthood, took the leadership of Jerusalem, she started to slide, right? Because she received a son, this woman, right? Because he says, and I nourished him and with great travail, so when he grew up, he came to the time that he should have a woman, and I made a feast. Shlomo. He grew up 30 years later. Right. Shlomo is a young man, anointed king at the age of 19, 20. Asked for Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, and Yahuwah gave it to him. Right? And Shlomo, right, he honored Yahuwah. The nation was flourishing. The temple was dedicated. It was a time of rejoicing. Right? Choice up until the time, right? To the time that things started to change. Some 30 years later, Shlomo started entertaining strange women, which led to the death of the nation, because he brought with them their elves. Now she says here, she made a feast. And it so came to pass that when my son was entered into his wedding chamber, he fell down and died. The nation lost her footing. She lost her discipline. She lost her relationship with Yahuwah. Right? And she says, fell down and died. Right? She went into captivity. See, it led to her captivity. Right? Shlomo's actions led to the captivity of the nation, because he introduced these elves into the lands of you, along with these strange women and their priests and their Levites, or their priest, not their Levites, but their priest. He gave them space in the temple. He allowed them to put up their idols within the city gates. He allowed them to put groves and temples in Yahuwah's land. She died. The son died. Right? He died. Right? And then she says, then he says, and he fell down and died. And then we all overthrew the lights And all my neighbors rose up and comforted me. I took my rest unto the second day at night. And it came to pass when they had left off to comfort me to the end, I might be quieted. Then I rose up by night and fled and came thither into the field as you see. So Ezra, right? Ezra's dealing with this. This similitude, this vision. That was supposed to help him to understand his relationship with the nation, right? Help him to understand Yahuwah's place with the nation, right? In Ezra's time, this was symbolic. In Ezra's time, of Ezra. But this is symbolic of the nation today. After Ezra, they got back on their feet. Got back on their feet. For a little while, they functioned well. They established the priesthood. And then came Alexander the Great. And came Epiphanes, or Antiochus. The temple became profane. The woman had to bring forth a son. Right? She brought forth a son. The son was Yahushua Mashiach. He brought forth a son. That son died. 30 years. But this time this son purchased their Yeshua. At his death they wailed and mourned him. But in the end, Yahushua came to comfort after his death. There was going to be yet more to mourn. But to those who received his witness, they had tribulation. But, right, they got the victory. The nation was never the same because of Yahushua. Let's go to where we left off. All right. So we have Ezra, right, now. All right. Ezra is witnessing what occurred with this woman and how he could not comfort her. Right? And it got to the point where she, after explaining everything, let out this screeching noise. And all of a sudden, there appeared, she shone like the light. And there was this city, not made with hands. City is that city that Avraham looked for, who had its foundation. Builder and maker was Yahuwah Lord. The city that Yahushua Mashiach is going to reign in. The city. Ezra didn't know what to do. He didn't have the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah. He didn't know what to do. Ezra just... Where is Uriel? Let's go to that right now. He says in the 22nd chapter. Oh yeah, 26. And behold, suddenly she made a great cry, very fearful, so that the earth shook. Earthquake. Tectonic plate shifted. Earthquake shook at the noise of the woman. Right? Because she screamed. Right? She gave birth again. She screamed, she wailed. But the end result was the new Jerusalem. Listen. And I looked, and behold, the woman appeared unto me no more, but there was a city, and a large place shone itself from the foundation. So it wasn't a woman. She didn't change. I'm sorry, I take that back. But the city was built. Right? Right? A large place shone itself from the foundation. And the foundation, then I was afraid and cried with a loud voice and said, where is Uriel, the angel who came unto me the first? For he has caused me to fall into a trance. You will cause you to see open vision, bro. Right? Right. He has caused me to fall into a trance, and my end is turned into corruption, and my prayer to rebuke. He had a rug, I get that show. He says, and as I was speaking these words, behold, he came unto me and looked upon me, and lo, I laid as one that had been dead. He fainted. He fainted. Had been dead, right? And my understanding was taken from me. You know, people faint, fall over, and then when you try to get them up, they're like, oh, what happened? What? You know, and, you know, again, you know, having never witnessed an open vision, right, to someone out the Ruach HaKodesh, it could be overwhelming and it could be startling, you know, right? But he says, my understanding was taken from me, and he took me by the right hand and comforted me, and set me up upon my feet, and said unto me, right? So he took me by the hand, you know, he was laying down, he took me by the hand and got me up, standing me up on my feet, right? And he said unto me, what ails you? Same thing as was said to the woman. He said, what ails you? Right? What ails you? And why are you so disquieted? Why are you so upset? Why is your understanding troubled? Why are your mind vexed? Right? These are things Esdras said to her. Right? Why is your mind vexed? Right? Right? He says, and the thoughts of your heart. And I said, because you have forsaken me.
He's just forsaken me.
He said, because you have forsaken me. And, it's interesting because in the Ruach HaKodesh, we can receive um, gifts of the Ruach HaKodesh. It'll move, because he said, I'll pour out my Ruach. And Joel, Peter quoted it in Acts the 2nd chapter. How Yahuwah will pour out his Ruach HaKodesh. Right? Your young men shall dream dreams, and your old men shall see visions. And, when he pours out his Ruach HaKodesh, right? And here's Ezra, right? He gets to see something, right? And that was Ruach, right? And in his flesh. Didn't know how to handle it. Right? So he says, behold, you have forsaken me, and yet I did according to your words. And I went into the field, and lo, I have seen, and yet see that I am not able to express. Listen, I went to that field, I ate like you, I did what you told me to. And then, I seen this vision, I just don't understand. I don't understand what I saw. I know what I saw. I know I heard what I saw. But I don't understand what I saw. Right? He says, and he said unto me, stand up manfully. Stand up like a man. It was necessary for the Malachim to tell him to stand up like a man, because evidently he kind of was like, not taking a strong posture, right? He said, stand up like manfully, and I will advise you. Then said I, speak on, my Adonai, and me only, forsake me not. Now speak to me, but don't leave me now. That was too much. Don't leave me, right? Lest I die. Don't leave me, because I'm going to die, right? Frustrate of my hope. Lest I die frustrate of my hope. For I have seen that I know not, and hear that I know not, that I do not know, right? Or is my senses deceived, or my soul in a dream? I'm not sure what to make of this. I ain't never had this happen to me before. And when I heard that scream and that earthquake, man, that overwhelmed me, right? He says, or is my senses deceived, or my soul in a dream? Now therefore I beseech you, I beg you, that you will show your servant of this vision. Now he knew it was a vision. The vision made him extremely uncomfortable, but he knew it was a vision. Right? With this vision. Right? So he answered me then and said, hear me, and I shall inform you and tell you where you are afraid. Wherefore, I will tell you wherefore you are afraid. For El Elyon will reveal many things, many secret things unto you. See, Yahuwah has a plan in everything that he does. There are some things that Yahuwah is going to reveal to you that are secret things. Right?
things that you going to record, share, right? He says secret things unto you. He has seen that your way is right. See, who knows your way is right? Right? He said your way is right. I mean, you're a chaste man. You keep Torah, right? Because the way is Torah. And your way is right. Which means that you keep Torah. Yahuwah knew your way was right because he sent you to prophesy. Excuse me. He would have never had you prophesy had your way not be right. Yahuwah's not going to have somebody prophesy who don't keep Torah. This ain't going to happen. Right? You don't keep Torah. You ain't no prophet. You know, all them Christian prophets. Oh, we got prophets, such prophet. Yeah, you ain't no prophet. You don't keep Torah. You gonna prophesy. Listen, you ain't no prophet if you haven't received the witness of Yeshua Mashiach. The Ruach and that's the water and blood. You ain't gonna prophet. You ain't no prophet. Ezra was a prophet because he kept Torah. He was chaste. Yahuwah said that his ways was right. He says, right? He has seen that your way is right, for that your sorrow continually for your people, and make great lamentation for Zion. You real. You real when it comes to the nation. You real when it comes to Zion. Right? You real when it comes to your people. You real when it comes to that city. This therefore is the meaning of the vision which you lately saw. You saw a woman mourning, and you began to comfort her. But now see you the likeness of the woman no more. But there appeared unto you a city. And whereas she told you of the death of her son, this is the solution. The woman who you saw is Zion. She's Zion, right? And whereas she said unto you, even she whom you see as a city built, whereas I say she said unto you that she has been 30 years barren, those are the 30 years wherein there was no offerings made in her. 30 years no offerings were made in her. No sacrifice. No propitiations. Right. No propitiations. He says, but after 30 years, Shlomo built the city and offered offerings, and then bore the barren a son. Shlomo. Solomon. Right? Built a city and offered offering and bore the barren a son, and whereas she told you that she nourished him with labor, that was the dwelling in Jerusalem. Right. So that was the dwelling in Jerusalem, right? Right? 48. But whereas she said unto thee that my son's coming into his marriage chamber happened to have a fall and die, this was the destruction that came to Jerusalem. Again, it's the same thing that
after Ezra, there was offerings again. Right? There was offerings again made in Jerusalem. Right? Right? When Yahushua came, he became that perfect lamb, that sacrifice. Right? He says here, right? 48. But whereas she said unto thee that my son coming into his marriage chamber happened to have a fall. Yahushua came to redeem his bride, his people, to establish his kingdom, his dominion in the earth. Yahushua. 30 years. Not 31, 32, give or take 3 years. Right? Right? Yahushua. And this son died. He said, as many as received Yahushua, to them gave he power to be the sons of Yahuwah. We are the bride of Yahuwah. Right? But he died. That's it. He died. But he's alive. He's risen. He's established a people in a witness. He says, and this was the destruction that came to Jerusalem after Yahushua died. Right? Right? The destruction of Jerusalem. Yahushua said you got to flee to the mountains. Look. Yah's salvation. Right? He says here, likes and types. The scriptures are filled with likes and types. He says here, 49, and behold, thou saw her likeness, and because she mourned for her son, thou beganst to comfort her. And of these things which have, and behold, you saw her likeness, and because she mourned for her son, you began to comfort her, and to these things which have chanced, there are to open unto you. See, you demonstrated that you love the nation. You demonstrated your capacity to mourn for your people. And because you are, Yahuwah is going to reveal some things unto you concerning that which is to come. Right? He says, for now the Most High seeth that thou art grieved unfeignedly. Yahuwah sees you grieved. Yahuwah sees you grieved. Right? Behold, Yahuwah sees the Most High, verse 50, the Most High, El Elyon, sees that you are grieved unfeignedly and suffers for your whole heart for her. So has he showed you the brightness of her glory. Yahuwah is going to reveal to you
that glory, the brightness of that glory. He's going to show you of events, times, days, latter days, right? He says, and therefore I bade thee remain in the field where no house has built. Now, you've demonstrated to Yahuwah your love for the nation. He's going to reveal some things to you. He's going to reveal some things to you concerning the nation. Right? You just need to stay here. Right? You need to stay here right now. Right? Therefore I command thee to go into the field where no foundation of any building was. For in the place wherein the highest beginneth to shew his city, there can no man's building be able to stand. So you will say, 53. Therefore I command you to go into the field where no foundation of any building was. Right? For in the place where an El Elyon begins to show his city, there can no man's building be able to stand. Go to this place. You was going to begin to reveal to you a city. Okay? In this city, there's nothing there. In this land that you was about to reveal, there's nothing there. It all points to the provision that Yahuwah has made in the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. There is no city. There is no inheritance. There is no dwellings without the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. You must be born again with the water of the Ruach HaKodesh. You must receive the witness. He says, and therefore fear not, and let not thy heart be afraid, but go thy way in, and see the beauty and the greatness of the building. As much as thine eyes be able to see. Go into this city, and you go in, and you behold as much as your eyes can see. Ezra got a chance to walk in the city whose builder and maker was Yahuwah, who had foundation. He says, and then thou shalt hear as much as thine ears can comprehend. Right? For thou art blessed above many others, and art called with the highest, and so are but few. There's only a few, Ezra, like you. There's only a remnant like you. Right? Right? But because you have a sincere heart for your people, Yahuwah has given you an opportunity to see the city. Right? He said, listen. start at 50 again. For now El Elyon sees that you are grieved unfeignedly. You have almost uncontrollable grief for the nation, right? And suffers from your whole heart for her, right? So has he showed you the brightness of her glory, the kingdom, the city that appeared, right? The city that appeared, right? Right? And the comeliness of her beauty. And therefore I bade you remain in the field where no house was built. For I knew that El Elyon would show this unto you. Therefore I command you to go into the field where no foundation of any building was, right? And in the place wherein El Elyon begins to show his city, show city. This is the prophetic city. This is the city that has foundation, whose builder and maker is Yahuwah. This is the city. This is the city that the Son came and died for. Right? This is that city. This is the city that led to the mourning and the destruction. Yahusha's city. Because the children did not receive the witness. He says, right? For in the place where El Elyon begins to show his city, there can no man's building be able to stand. So Yahuwah's going to put a city in an open field where no man has been or stand. Right? 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 A place where Ezra can walk in. He says, and therefore fear not, lest not thine heart be frightened, but go your way in, and see the beauty and the greatness of the building. As much as your eyes are able to see what... Ezra's going to be able to walk into the city of Yahuwah. He says here, therefore fear not lest your heart be affrighted, but go your way in and see the beauty of this greatness of the building, as much as your eyes are able to see. And then shall ye hear, as much as your ears may comprehend. Now you gonna go in here, you gonna start to hear a word from Yahuwah, and you're gonna receive revelation from Yahuwah. Be born again of the water of the Ruach HaKodesh. Be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Receive the witness of Yahuwah, the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood. He says, for you are blessed above many others, and are called with El Elyon, and so are but few. You're the called, Ezra. El Elyon has chosen you. to bear this record. See, that's why for me, I had to cry loud and spit out. See, I know what he told me. You know, Yasharal and Yahuda, you got to be born again. But the water and the Ruach got to go dash in order to see the city. You got to be born again in order to endure this tribulation that is to come. You got to be born again. Of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh to be sons of Yahuwah. Daughters of Yahuwah. You got to be born again. He says to Ezra, he says, you are blessed above many others. All I want to have is have Yahuwah tell me, well done. All I want is my Malachim to give a report to Yahuwah that Yahuwah, he's serving you. He's obeying you. He's keeping your Torah. He's not yielding to the flesh, but he's standing strong in Torah. He's praying in the Ruach and he's praying with understanding. He's making every attempt to endure to the end. He's making every move to endure to the end. That's how I want my Malachim to report. Okay? Right? Because they report to Yahuwah. That's how Yahuwah knows everything you do. Yahuwah's got a Malachim assigned to you. And that Malachim lets Yahuwah know every day what you do. Listen, you better get a clue. So all I want Yahuwah to say is, hey, well done, right? And I ain't talking about my name. I want him to say, well done, Yaakov, Yahuwah Gaol, or a name that he has given me that I know and nobody else knows. I just want to hear him say, well done. Listen. For you are blessed above many others and are called of El Elyon. That's all. I thank you. I just want to be called of you. I just want to continue to do what you would tell me to do. Right? He's called with El Elyon. Right? And so are but a few. But tomorrow at night you shall remain here. And so shall El Elyon show you the visions of the high things, which El Elyon will do unto you that dwell upon the earth in the last days. He'll show you visions of what he's going to do in the earth in the last days. Right? And that's prophetic stuff. That's prophecy. That's a prophetic word. And he explains what it means throughout the rest of these chapters. Yahuwah wants you to understand that the world was made for the many, but the world to come is made for a few. And the few are those who are going to receive the witness. The few are those that are going to go into the city. And they're going to be a part of the New Jerusalem. But it's for those that are going to endure to the end. Right? To those that are going to endure to the end. Man of Yah, woman of Yah. That's Ezra, the 10th chapter, right? Now, the rest of Ezra, especially the 11th, 12th, 13th, I think 14th, 15th chapter. And I'm going to see if Yahuwah wants me to continue. And we're going to see what Yahuwah has to say in reference to whether or not he wants me to continue in Ezra or to go somewhere else in Ezra. Again, everything that Yahuwah says in Ezra, he gives witness to or explanation to. Again, when it comes to Yahuwah and his word, the word that he's given me to give to you has everything to do with the witness and receiving the witness of Yahushua Mashiach. So, we'll see where Yahuwah's going to go from here, but that's all we have right now. So, man of Yah, woman of Yah. Yahweh, I give you praise for the word that you have given me to give to them. I pray that the word that you've given to me to give to them, that they would keep it, that they would be established in it. Yahuwah, I pray that nothing that I said will cause anyone to stumble to be turned out of the way to come up lame. Yahuwah, you said that from my belly shall flow rivers of living waters. This ye spake of the Ruach HaKodesh, which they should receive, who have received the water and the blood. Yahuwah, I give you praise for this witness. I pray that your word would go out unto those that you have chosen and that it would not return void. I give you praise, Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, for this witness. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuwah, my strength and my redeemer. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness, woman of Yahuwah, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today, Yahuwah's favored you. Listen. Walk in the favor of Yahuwah and be blessed, right? Real truth is going to come from the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah, right? Understand this, understand this, understand this. If you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah, you handicapped. Right? No. If you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah, right, you don't have truth. You don't have that which will lead you and guide you into truth. Right? The Ruach HaKodesh by design is given to reveal truth. Right? Right? It's supernatural revelation. Right? And in order to receive it, you have to ask Yahuwah for it. Of course, you got to be born again of the water. Right? You got to receive the blood of the atonement. Right? In Imunah. You got to receive it in Imunah. And then that qualifies you to receive the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah, which is the Ruach of Yahuwah on the inside of you, which is that righteousness of Yahuwah that can only come in if your vessel has been swept and clean. Hence, applying the blood. Hence, being baptized. Like somebody's like, oh man, you got to do all of that. Right? This ain't for you. This ain't for you. Listen, everything I say is not for everybody. Right? So it's not for everybody. Right? It's for those of you who are chosen to receive this word. It's not for everybody. Right? I don't expect everybody to respond to this word because Yahuwah has those that he has chosen. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, that's it. That's all I got. Again, walk in the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah. Every day, consult Yahuwah and his word and his Ruach HaKodesh in order to live, to have life, to have understanding, clarity of thought. You have clarity of thought without the Ruach HaKodesh. And then the Ruach HaKodesh is going to lead you and guide you. It's a comforter. It comforts you. Yeah, with that I say, listen, man of Yah, woman of Yah, shalom, 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 listen, and be blessed. Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah.
nation.